Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we are working on a tasty little treat. This car came from Reddit. A gentleman by the name of Chris posted it as a little project, and he said he randomly received this car in a grab bag. This one is in pretty rough shape. The bottom is completely oxidized. But we're going to clean this up as best as we possibly can for Chris because it is a valuable car, even if he didn't know it at the time. So we're going to go the extra mile and try to get this thing as mint as we possibly can for Chris. And I'm pretty excited about this project, so let's get going. So I think we're going to be zinc plating today. Man, this thing's crusty. And that's okay, we haven't zinc plated anything in a while, so that's going to be real fun. So first things first, I want to get this thing separated as nicely as we possibly can. I think all the best work is done off camera, just because I can get the car closer to my body. Have a look at all these crusts. Ooh. Original 1969 pube. Very cool. Add that to the collection. Whew. I'm going to go ahead and say that this little beach bomb's done some off-roading. Got some mud in the back. That should polish up nice. If he wants to change that out in the future, he can, but I wouldn't. Look at that. Ugh. Ugh. We might be zinc plating this base as well. Okay, I always joke about pubes. And I am joking. That could be a real one. Oh my god. Dude. As nasty. That could be our first Diecast Resurrection retro pube. That's so gross. I've had people troll me in the past for wearing gloves all the time. You never know where these cars have been, man. Like you don't know what all this is. So it's really not in that bad a shape. I've seen a lot worse. The Spectraflame we're going to put on here is transparent, so we got to make sure that this zinc is as nice as it can possibly be. So start things off, we're going to just kind of clean it up a little bit with a brass wire wheelie and see how much of these crusties are going to come off of here. Just to go the extra mile, I'm going to do what I normally do with bases. I'm going to put a little bit of this metal glow on here. And we're not really polishing it at this point. We're going to do a thorough cleaning using the kind of abrasive properties of this polish to just clean up the oxidation that's on the outside of this. We're going to have to come back and degrease this body completely before we get into the zinc plater. Any of this wax that we have on here is going to mess up that whole process. The old metal glow did a good job getting everything cleaned up. Once all that oxidation is cleaned out of there, we're left with all these little craters. That's what our mission is going to be. We're going to have to try to fill all that up. Front looks okay. This side isn't bad at all. The back looks good. So overall, it's not too bad considering how crusty it looked. It had a good strong plating on it. Just going to do a little bit of light sanding just to make sure this thing is as clean as we can possibly get it before plating. And we are ready to go, so I'm going to turn this bad boy on. I like to run this around 1.6 volts. It's at 1.8 right now. I'm going to leave it alone just because it's super sensitive. I could knock it down just by tapping this knob usually, but 1.8 is fine. We're going to just leave it right there. The zinking process has started. So I'm going to let this run for a little while until our car basically turns a primer gray color. And you just check on it once in a while. I would imagine we're going to be doing somewhere between 8 to 10 plating sessions just to clean up those pock marks on this car, but we'll see how it goes. This will be the 5th and final application. And this is what it looks like right out of the zinc bath. So I have done this 5 times. And in between each application, I did a little bit of wet sanding on this area that had those bad pock marks. You can see it doesn't take much. I'm hardly even pushing on it. Just using a little bit of finger pressure to hold that sandpaper on there. And there we go. So this should be pretty mint once we get everything polished. Look at some old footage of how bad these pock marks were. I like the way this turned out. I'm going to get all this stuff out of the way, and then we can move on to polishing. Well, I'm going to say that turned out excellent. It's like brand new. Everything's nicely zinced up. So I'm going to go degrease, and I will meet you in the paint booth. Gonna say the paint job was a great success. I think it looks great. But now we gotta deal with this mess. Ugh. I don't know if I've seen a base so bad. So we're gonna start with the usual little metal glow. Removes tarnish and oxidation. We're gonna see how much of this we can take off. I don't know if it's gonna take all of it off, but we'll see. It's pretty bad. I spent about 10 minutes on this, and it's not quite good enough. We're going to need something a little bit stronger. So what I got here is some Lime Out bathroom cleaner. Not to be confused with Lime Away. I'm not sure how similar they are. This is Lime Out. So I'm going to dilute this with a little bit of water. 50-50 mix. And we're going to drop this in and give it about 4 to 5 minutes. We'll take it out and have a look. Yes. Eat up all that oxidation. Num, 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 num. So that has been about 4 to 5 minutes, somewhere in there. We're going to take this out, and we're going to have a look at it. Just going to hit this with my wire wheelie quick to see how quick it's going to polish up now. It's probably as good as it's going to get, just this part. Could give it a couple more minutes just for fun, but you can see that big blob oxidation that was in here is all gone for the most part. We'll try polish the whole thing. We'll see how it looks. If we got to give it another soak, we'll give it another soak, but that is as clean as I could possibly get it. There is zero oxidation left. All you see left is damage from said oxidation. Inside, nice and clean as well. A little bit more damage. That's a heck of a lot better than what we started with, for sure. You can actually read the words now. Volkswagen Beach Bomb, 1969 Mattel. We can tell this is a later model Beach Bomb by these cap style wheels. This is gonna be pimp beautiful. Cool. I think we're ready to do an assembly. So let us commence. Put that in there nicely. It's too bad that glass is cracked. I don't know, maybe Buddy will really love this thing and buy a replacement for it. I don't know. You can see how careful I had to be drilling these holes. Those posts are absolutely teeny. Absolutely teeny. Couple screws and we are done. We'll give Chris a nice little stainless screws. A lot of my customs I just use the black ones because I don't really care too much. Everyone knows they're taken apart. We got one final little touch here. We'll put one in over here. They're just aftermarket surfboards. They don't fit as good as the originals, but they're in there. This thing probably hasn't rolled in 40 years. There we go. There's our side-loading Beach Bomb. I think it turned out great. I put some surfboards in there that Chris sent in. I did my part. Now it's up to him if he wants to change out that glass or not. It's a pretty bad crack, but completely up to him. Our body repair looks pretty good. Not a lot of... It's the faintest little pit maybe left. There was big holes all along there, so that turned out really good. I think any collector would be happy to have a restored original side-loading Beach Bomb. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm not sure what's coming up next. I'll surprise you. Take care, guys. Bye.